And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original anime series, Vampire in the Garden. It's one I've been looking forward to. I was hoping that it was good, but is it worth your time? Let me know in the comments below if you're excited by this, but for now, let's jump in. In a world where vampires and humans are fighting each other, it's an unending war. Nobody is coming out on top. Vampires are losing a lot of vampires, people close to them, and humans are losing a lot as well. But nobody seems to want to budge. In amongst that, there is this general's daughter who's had enough of being a part of that war, and she wants to escape it. As well as we have a vampire queen who doesn't want to eat blood anymore. She's had enough of violence. She has had a dark history, had her heart broken. And so in that world, we have these two unlikely characters kind of meet up. And the story really focuses on their journey as they are trying to find a world called Eden. It's not a new world. It's just a world within this world where vampires and humans can live in harmony. Apparently that exists. And so they form this unlikely friendship, I guess, trying to find this Eden place. And in that journey, we have the two factions. We have the human faction, when you have the vampire faction, both after the human, both after the vampire for varying different reasons. And so you get your action sequences within each episode. There are only 5 episodes, which I found kind of sad because I love my anime. Normally you get like 12, 13 episodes, but with Netflix you never know what you're going to get. Castlevania's first season was 4 episodes. This one also kind of feels like a contained story. There is scope to have another story, but for now it is a contained story. Don't switch off right at the end of the episode 5 because there is a little clip that kind of gives you a glimpse of what's happened in the future, what might have happened. So, you could miss out on that entirely. Nevertheless, each episode is about 25 minutes apiece. First one a bit longer, kind of drawing us into that world. What shines here in this anime is the animation itself, which is great because sometimes you get new anime, you get good voice work, you get good score work, but the animation itself is lacking, or just doesn't feel right. Which studio are on the top of their game? When you get those action sequences, when there are vampires flying through the air, between the color palette and the score, the heightened tension that you often get in those action sequences, it just looks beautiful. The thing about this anime is there's a melancholy feel to it. There's a depression, like a cloud that settles over this anime from the start. And that is partly to do with the score, which really kind of sets you in the zone and the mood that this anime is trying to get you to understand that this is a sad world and these two characters are unlikely to survive. They are just standing just one step ahead, even though this is a vampire queen and this is a female soldier that kind of, knows some things trying to survive. In this world, it's very rare that you will survive if you go out on your own, even if they've teamed up. And in amongst that, they find this unlikely friendship, which is showcased beautifully in moments with music, which I really like. Now, the description in the IMDb is absolutely wrong. It's not violent, it's piano. And you'll see that unfold as they that the score has this theme tune that carries on throughout that is personal to both characters, which I really like. It helps to cement their friendship together. So as they spend more time together, you really appreciate them. You are rooting for them. I think it was very easy to root for our two main protagonists and showing a kind of Romeo and Juliet side to, Montague and Capulet's both sides. Like they definitely don't see eye to eye and they probably never will at the expense of, ending the world. But because of that, we get to go on this adventure journey. They're trying to find Eden. And so we had interesting vistas. I particularly like an episode which is just completely on like an ice lake, a little village there. And those wide vistas allow for a different sort of color palette with the action that you get. So in a couple of them, it's at like the base of the humans and you get to see them use different art styles there. Say just different locations in the tones and the color palette that they're going for. The contrast with fire to snow is very visual, and then with you having that kind of score that's melancholy the whole way through, you settle in this like, oh, this is one of those animes. You're watching a good anime when there's like this sadness. You're not sure who's going to survive. It brings an emotion around to it. I don't think there's like massive gut punches in this one, but I was feeling for the characters. As a first time story showcasing this world, I thought it was very well done. It was very interesting. The voice work is great. I checked out the dubbing which was fine. I think you can, if you're not a fan of subtitles, then that's fine. The original work is obviously the best to go for. I also watched with English subtitles to see the varying differences in translation, and there is quite a contrast there again. So you may want to have, even if you're listening to the English, you may want to have the subtitles up on that, just so you can see sometimes there's a different meaning, that sometimes it kind of it showcases the right message, but it's in a slightly different way. Does that make sense? That's up to you. However you like to watch anime, there are those differences there for you, which I find really interesting. I think this was a solid anime. I thought the action was good, the way it looked, the way it get into those characters very quickly and into the story. I just would have liked more. I think that's the thing that's lacking. There's only 5 episodes. It's a very short and contained story. I think we could have explored some of the backgrounds of the vampire lore, some of the people. There is a lot of history there that we don't get to know about. There's a character, her uncle, that looks like a sort of samurai. You know, he wields a sword. Get little instances, little moments where they kind of showcase what's going on and you kind of understand. But for the most part, you kind of have to glean it for yourself. So although our protagonists are showcased mostly, we don't really know that much about the world except for what they've told us in exposition in parts. So I think a couple of more episodes even would have really helped. So I'm going to give this 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. What did you think? Let me know your favorite vampire anime in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. It does help out the channel. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.